Everybody, it's me, Shella360, and I'm here to talk about episodes 7 and 8 of She Was Pretty. So I'm going to kind of jump all around here because there's just a lot to talk about. But before I talk about that, let's talk about this Choco pie. Bought this at my local Asian grocer for $3.29. This is like the Korean treat that everybody thinks about when they think of Korean snacks. And because I'm from the South, when I look at something like this Choco pie, which is a soft cookie, marshmallow in the middle, chocolate coating on the outside, the first thing that I think about are moon pies. Moon pies are a Southern staple, especially if you are from Louisiana. Moon pies are famous. And I've had moon pies before. I had the Choco pie. I already finished it, and they taste very similar. The coating on the Choco pie is a little bit thinner than the coating on the moon pie. The marshmallow in the Choco pie is not as chewy as the moon pie marshmallow is. And this is a much thicker cookie. It's more stout, whereas the moon pie is a little bit flatter and it's got the kind of scalloped edge around it. So it's a different visual experience as well. But taste-wise, very, very similar. And from what I read on Wikipedia, the moon pie actually influenced the creation of the Choco pie. So, yeah, there you go. I'll put a link down below like I always do where to get this stuff. But in episodes 7 and 8, a lot of things happen. We didn't get as much development in Hari's part, but a lot changed with our other three main characters. So much so that, like, if I was going to go by just like how things happen in the episode, this review would be 2 hours long because I could talk about everything so much. But the main thing that I kind of took away from this episode is that Seung-joon needs to start taking mood regulators because he is so up and down and up and down. So they go on this road trip to scout out these photo locations, and things were going good on the road trip. We get back to town and then all hell breaks loose. And I know that a lot of this has to do with the fact that Seung-joon's still kind of not ready to give up on the Hari version of Heejin, but he also is not ready to completely develop anything with the office Heejin. And so he's struggling between these two. And then along with this struggle between these two, he's also dealing with like a little bit of jealousy from Shin-yuk. He's dealing with the pressures of this magazine possibly closing. And he's getting these calls from America. Like, there's a lot going on with him. But I really think that in these episodes, he was extremely unfair to Heejin. And I thought we had gotten past this whole yelling at her thing last time. In fact, I was congratulating him for having a better attitude, but he was brutal to her these last two episodes. First of all, he was prideful about asking her to pay for their restaurant meal when they were out in the country. Then, he gets upset about her relationship with Shin-yuk, but luckily he didn't take it out on her. He took it out on Shin-yuk by smacking him in the head, which that was the funniest scene in this entire episode. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Then his frustrations with the fact that the magazine is going bad, and then constantly being reminded of his old love through the actions of Heejin, because that's just who she is. He takes it out on her, and it was heartbreaking to watch him yell at her at near the end. Well, I won't say the end, but near the middle of episode 8. So episode 8, the incident I'm talking about, if you guys can recall, they had gotten the designer dress from James Taylor. And of course, Seung-joon's under a lot of pressure. He's yelling at everybody, and he leaves, and they ask for Heejin to take care of the dress until the photo shoot happens. But Sewell, aka Gold Digger, says, "You need to move my car for me. Go ahead and leave the dress and go move my car." Well, when it's time for the model to put on the dress, she's like, "Oh, wait a minute, something's wrong." They pick up the tail of the dress, and there's a tear in the tail. Now, the tear in this dress, this is a long chiffon gauzy dress. There's a tear probably about the size of my small finger here. I wouldn't have seen it if you hadn't have pointed it out to me. I doubt the camera would have pointed it out. Like, I don't see it as a dress ruining thing. But apparently it's like, we can't film this no more. We're going to have to cancel the photo shoot. Everything is ruined because of this pinky long tear in this damn dress. So, of course, Seung-joon being, all wired up is like, who did this? Who wasn't taking care of the dress? well, Heejin's just an honest person. And she's like, well, it wasn't my job to watch the dress, so I'm going to step forward and say it was me. Now, she didn't tear the dress, but, she's, honestly, she was supposed to take care of the dress, and she should have told Gold Digger, go move your own fucking car. But instead, she did it for her because she's just a giving person, and she's like, yeah, I was supposed to be taking care of the dress. Not only does he, ream her out for not taking care of the dress, but then he starts blaming her for all this other bullshit, which is just stuff that's going on in his own head. He starts yelling at her about the fact that she confuses him, the fact that she's making real feelings come out of him, stuff that's not her fault, stuff that's natural. It's called emotions, deal with them. But instead, he fires her in front of everybody in the most humiliating, team demoralizing way ever. Shinyuk doesn't happen to be around when he's yelling at Heejin because he's busy convincing Hari to tell the fucking truth before this all gets out of hand. Shows up at the photo shoot, realizes, things have gone wrong. But, the fact that he would go this far, to the point where he fires her, was there nothing inside him that told him that's not what this deserves? And then the fact that, later on, seconds later, this young model type comes up and says, it was me. I was the one who tried on the dress when no one was looking and I tore it and I'm sorry. He tells her, it's understandable, go away. The fuck? You fired somebody just now. You fired somebody over this damn rip in this dress. If you're going to fire somebody who's an asset to your team, then you need to be calling this little girl's modeling agency and say that this bitch is banned. But you're not going to do that. But you're going to do this to Heejin because what? She made you feel something? Fuck you. I was pissed as hell. I was really, really super pissed. I didn't like it at all. And then I thought it was even worse because after he did it and then found out the truth, then he thought about the fact that she had explained to him when they were on their road trip how much this job meant to her. How just seeing this badge after being unemployed for so long was like life goals. And the fact that he just took that away from her based on his emotions, not on even facts. That is just practically irredeemable. Now, Shivan, convinces him he needs to hire Heejin back. As if the whole office being in disarray isn't enough to convince him. Shivan's like, you need to go get her back. And so he kind of, chicken shits around and tries to go and get her back. But, she tells him no. And with good reason. You don't yell at me in front of everybody, insult me the way that you did and expect me to come crawling with my tail between my legs. I'm not going to do that. I have pride. I'm a person. I deserve respect. You're not going to, do me like this and expect me to come back because it's a job. So, yeah, I was proud of her for that. But, unfortunately, the way these plots turn. She finds out that her dad is struggling and she needs money to help him with his business because, when you think about it, her dad's business affects the money that goes into her dad's household. She's still got a little sister who's in school. She's got a mother. She feels obligated to, help them out because this helps out her entire family if her dad's business is running properly. So, she's considering going back to work for him. Also, I think, and I have no confirmation of this, but I think that Seungjun did a little dirt to keep her from working at a different company. So if you recall, after Heejin's fired, she somehow ends up in communication with the guy from management support. And he's like, hey, I got a friend. I can recommend you because you did an excellent job when you were here and I can get you a new job. Well, she's excited to get this new job. Well, the very next day when she's supposed to get this new job after she tells Seungjun that she's not coming back because she's got another job offer, all of a sudden the new job falls through. Then she gets another call from management support manager saying, hey, that guy that I told you wasn't going to hire you, he's going to call you from an unknown number. Be sure to answer it. Come on, KDramas. Do you think I'm new to this game? Do you think I've never seen this kind of stuff before? I know what you did. I know that Seungjun did this. And you know what? Fuck him. That's low as hell. I understand you're in a powerful position so you can convince the management support manager to do your bidding for you. But I think it's wrong. And you know why I think it's wrong? I think it's wrong because you deserve to eat in the bed that you made. That makes no sense. You deserve to eat in the restaurant you built. I don't know. There's not a phrase. You deserve to lie in the bed you made. Perfect. That's the one. You deserve to lie in the bed that you made. You destroyed everything through your up and down bipolar emotion tirade, and you deserve to be punished for that. So ruining this girl's opportunity to get a job somewhere else, that's some bullshit. The only thing that I can think, if it wasn't Seung-joon who told management support about this, then I'm gonna guess, because I like guessing. That's the whole point of watching K-dramas, is to do all the guessing. I'm gonna guess that the person who did this is the Italian lady, the most-esque lady, that maybe she did that. Or, because I've already told you that I think that Shin-yuk is a secret millionaire, Shin-yuk, if he's the heir, might have, found out about the whole management support thing and then worked a little magic to bring her back. But I kind of feel like it might be the most-esque lady, only because at the end of episode 8, Heejin comes back to the office after the makeover. And guys, I've said it before, I didn't think she looked that bad. She just looked like somebody who didn't have any time or maybe didn't care. But she comes back with this ruffled shirt on, and of course her skin's taken care of. And to me, the skin is the main plus, because her cheeks, they'd be really brightly brown one day and then really red other days and then not so much. So I mean, that definitely. But her straightened hair, it looked limp. The fluffy frilly shirt didn't look all that good. I wasn't impressed. At least I'm not currently impressed, I should say. But yeah, I think it was either Seung-joon plotting behind the scenes, or because she came back with a makeover, maybe the most-esque lady. But I put my money on Seung-joon. Okay, so I think we've kind of handled all the Seung-joon, Heejin stuff there that needed to be handled. Now let's talk about Hari, because Hari didn't get a lot of plot for these episodes, or they really didn't talk about the stuff I wanted to talk about. I wanted to find out more about Hari's stepmother, more about her dad, more about that stuff, but they didn't really go into it. But they did have some really beautiful moments in episodes 7 and 8 that demonstrate exactly how much Hari is fucking up. When Heejin thinks that Hari's got a new man, and she's like, girl, I'm so proud of you. I'm so glad you got a new man. I'm rooting for you and your man to be together. I hope I get to meet him. I want you to have someone special. And they're sitting at the swings, and she says, I remember when we were young and your mother left you and you had all these problems with your family, and you felt like if you couldn't trust your mother, how would you ever trust a man? And the fact that you've let some other man in your heart, I'm so happy. That broke me, because I was just thinking about the fact that, she told Shin-yuk, this is the girl that I've been friends with all my life. Unlike some friends, we're never jealous of each other. We're never envious. We always congratulate each other. I'm there for her. She's there for me. And you could feel the sincere friendship that these two have. And once you see Heejin's reaction to Hari finding love, you just realize how heartbreaking this is going to be, because I feel like there's going to be two conflicting emotions for Heejin. There's going to be the ultimate act of betrayal, because she's going to think, you're my sister. You're more than a friend. You're my other half, and you would do this to me. The fuck? But then also, I love you so much that if it comes down to it, I might just go ahead and give you what you want. If he's what you want and he wants you back, then I'll let you have that, because I know how broken you've been. But yeah, that stuff, Hari, I don't want to hate you, because you're not a hateful person. That's the thing about it. Hari's not a hateful person. She's not out there kicking puppies and burning down old folks' homes. She's just a woman who's had a really bad run of things. She has wealth instead of love, and she's trying to navigate in this world, but you're stepping on something so precious, and you're going to destroy it, because usually precious things are fragile, and when you step on it, it's going to break. And I don't want this series to end with these two not being friends. But I also would not be happy if Heejin just falls over for Hari in the situation either, because, Hari, you fucked up, and I hope you see what a big fuck up it is. And I think you can see over the course of the two episodes, she's really realizing how big it is. I think the only time in these two episodes where I was really hooray for Hari was when Heejin got fired by Seung-joon, and she was talking about Seung-joon and about how he was being an asshole, and Hari started crying, And you could tell that, like, she wasn't just crying for Heejin, she was crying for herself and for, like, what a complicated web they're in. But then when Seungjoon called her, she turned off her phone. And I'm like, thank goodness, because had she taken that call, I would have been done with that bitch. Like, flat out. The fact that I'm calling her a bitch now, I shouldn't call her that because she's a good girl. But if she had answered that phone, should have been not that good girl, should have been that bitch. Because, yeah, I'm kind of through. And so, the last main character that we get to talk about today is Shin-yuk, who is my favorite. I went from not talking about him in my first review to me wanting to talk about nothing but him. He's us. Like, honestly, us that all talk in these comment sections and watch this show, he's us. He's like the voice of reason in this thing. He is the guy who's the most perceptive. He is like, he's just awesome. From his facial expressions to the things he does, he's amazing. He's annoying at times. And he's a little bit creepy. When Seungjoon came home and Shin-yuk was hiding in his closet talking about where's these panties, that was a little too much. But I love how he had his own set of revelations in the show this time. He went from knowing that he had good feelings towards Heejin to, like, flat out knowing that he likes her, but because he plays too much, she can't take him seriously. That's what you get when you play too much. Let that be a lesson. But yeah, he goes from, like, feeling like friend feelings to realizing he feels romantic feelings, and then he's the one who is able to tie all of these different strands together the way that we have from the beginning. And then he goes, instead of to Heejin and rats out her friend, instead of going to Seungjoon and ratting out the friend, he goes to Hari, who really is the epicenter. And he tells her, fix this before you ruin everything. Because he realizes it's not his place to tell Heejin what Hari's doing, because their friendship is more than just regular friendship. And it's not his place to go and tell Seungjoon what this is, because Seungjoon might not believe him, because they kind of have a little bit of, a rivalry. But Hari, on the other hand, she's come to him asking for advice. He realizes what this is, and he's like, I'm going to give you some real advice, girlfriend. Break it off, because you're going to hurt everybody. And me knowing you and talking to you, I can tell you're also going to hurt yourself. So you need to stop. So I loved him in this episode. I loved him. He's my absolute favorite. This is his show. I had no idea that Siwon was this good an actor. I feel like I've missed out on a lot. Like, I need to go back and watch other stuff he's been in. If you have any recommendations, leave them down below. But he was brilliant in this show. And I could watch more and more hours of him. I'm so glad that we're only halfway through, because I could watch tons of him. He's so great in this. Other little notes. You remember last week I told you that Junwoo was Yuchin from JYJ's brother. As I was watching him in this episode, I could see where they favor, kind of in the eyes, kind of in the mouth shape, but they still don't look alike to me. Sewell, who is that gold digging bitch, that's her official name. It's in the casting credits. I thought it was poetic justice that she had this whole plan to seduce Junwoo, and in the middle of nowhere, she gets the runs. I thought that was great. Oh, the bubble guts. And then he goes into the bathroom behind her, and she's like, it's not me, it's compost. I was like, oh, honey, great. But I'm also kind of mad, too, because apparently Junwoo is falling for her and her flatulence and her sprained ankle. And yeah, you never know what it is that turns these guys on. Some guys, they like that glamour puss stuff, and some guys just want you to have diarrhea. It is what it is. But yeah, this episode was great. I'm just loving this show. I'm loving doing these reviews. You guys have left good comments, and we've talked a lot. And if there's anything that you guys aren't getting from my reviews that you want me to discuss, please let me know. We're halfway through. So that means that in another 4 weeks, I guess, we'll be through with this whole deal. It's going to be hard, because I'm really liking this world. I don't want to leave it. And there were a lot of revelations in this episode that were really hard for me to take because it meant that we're getting closer to like the big conflict. But I mean, we're 8 episodes in, so it had to happen. The makeover had to happen. But yeah, I mean, I was really torn on a lot of different things that happened with characters. I was really kind of sad about a couple of things, but we're moving towards this big resolve, the big reveal, and kind of people sorting out their feelings. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But I really, really enjoy this episode. And this is the first episode where the Italian-speaking lady didn't annoy me. Because normally that lady gets on my nerves. But, you know, she was the one who made everybody do the whole what's in your heart. People say what's on their mind instead of what's in their heart thing. That was important for the show. Oh, and one other thing that was really important. And I don't know if you guys caught this. But on the very first episode, after Heejin left the birthday party for Hari and she had her wet shoes, she was talking about, I've never felt like the main character in my life. I've always felt like, you know, other people are the leads and I'm just one of the side characters. And then the concept for the 20th anniversary is going to be about the side characters in life, and they're going to be the focus. So I thought that was a really cute way to kind of tie that all together. Also, am I the only one who didn't know what this book was when Shinya dropped it on Seungjun's desk? He's like, here, and he's like, I've seen this before. Have y'all seen that book before, or am I the only one who was seeing it for the first time? Like, I knew that Heejin wanted to be a writer because she had that whole thing in her parents' attic where she was talking about it, but I don't remember this book. I don't remember this book at all. So that was kind of a mystery to me, that whole thing. But yeah, that's everything, and I will talk to you guys next time.